Give me the argument, the best argument you know, for the power of cinema.
What's up, bro?
What's up, bro?
And welcome, everybody, to the show. This is Peliculas with the Bros. My name is Adrian.
My name is Ivan.
And you are currently watching something called Peliculas with the Bros. It's a podcast. It's a show where me and my brother Ivan talk about a movie, new movie every week. And this week, Ivan, we're going back to a franchise that we've seen over 100 times in our lives, which is disgusting. Ivan, what movie are we doing today?
Spiderman No Way Home.
Oh. Wow, man. Wow. What a title. But Ivan, before we get into that, let me give a little plug. Everybody, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. If you're watching, if you're listening, wherever you're watching, wherever you're listening. We're on YouTube and we're on all podcast platforms. If you want to watch us, go to YouTube and look up Peliculas with the Bros. And we should pop up right there. Two Mexican guys looking out of place in cozy outfits. That would be us. Peliculas with the Bros. If you like movie podcast. If you want to listen to us, we're on all podcast platforms. We're on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Deezer.
Mm-hmm.
We're on many platforms, so just look us up. We should be on your favorite podcast platform, Peliculas with the Bros. We should be right there. If you're enjoying this video on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button. Please hit that like button. If you love to listen to guys talk about movies, because who doesn't? It's 2021, damn it. And we're talking about a good movie today, Evan. I mean, I shouldn't say we're talking about a good movie. We're talking about a movie that is rich in topics to talk about, which will make this entertaining. And at least that's something, right?
Yeah.
Ivan, the movie we're doing today, like you mentioned earlier, is Spider-Man No Way Home. I'm trying to become a singer.
Don't.
And I asked my wife the other day, I was like, I think I have
Chops?
a voice. I just don't have the refined filter that I need. So I gave her a little sample. And she's like, no, it's not there. I'm like, not even if I go to a specialist where they're like, practice this, do this, learn this trick. She's like, I don't know.
I think anyone can sing.
I don't think so. Oh, yeah. Actually, you're right.
I'm glad I convinced you.
Yeah. What a convincing argument. Because, well, I mean, anyone can sing, but
I don't know if everyone has like that voice, but I think anyone can just sing. Like anyone can draw, anyone can write, but nobody can be like Picasso or Stephen King or whatever.
what about, like, can I sing enough to make money? Can anyone sing enough to make money?
Maybe like on Fiverr or something.
Okay. Because even if you have like a growly voice, you can be like the Playboy Cardi of the singing world.
Probably.
Does
Does he even sing? He's like,
That's true. It's more of a flow than a
Yeah.
sing. There's another point I wanted to add to that. Oh, I was watching a video on YouTube, Instagram or something. And it was this guy trying to, he was singing in a choir and he needed to reach a higher pitch.
oh, the balloon.
And he took helium. I was like, wow. It makes sense, but still, wow.
Crazy world.
Man, I guess there really are sensu beings. I'll move on. Ivan, let's talk about Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yeah.
The premise of this movie. Peter Parker picked a pile of pickled peppers when he messed with Mysterio. And Mysterio, in the previous film, if you didn't watch it, because I didn't, he gave up Spider-Man's real identity.
Mm-hmm.
Hence, everyone knows who Spider-Man is. It's Peter Parker. This puts him and his squad, Zendaya, a.k.a. Mary Jane, and Ned, played by Jacob Batalon. This puts them in a predicament where everyone knows who they are. They're trying to go to college. They're trying to have a normal life, but they can't. So what does Peter Parker do? He enlists none other than Doctor Strange to cast a spell on the world. I know. Hence, we have this movie, and it's a crazy movie, and there's a lot to get into, so we'll move on from the premises. With a cast of Tom Holland as Peter Parker / Spider-Man, Zendaya. I wish I was cool enough to have just one name.
You are.
There it is. Zendaya as Michelle Jones Watson, Benedict Cumberbatch as Dr. Stephen Strange, Jacob Batalon as Ned Leeds, Jon Favreau as Happy Hogan, Jamie Foxx as Electro, William Dafoe as Green Goblin, Alfred Molina as Dr. Octopus,
Careful with the spoilers.
Benedict Wong as Wong, Tony Revolori as Flash Thompson, Marissa Tomei as May Parker, and a couple others that we'll get into. You like that fake laugh?
No.
Was it believable?
No.
If you didn't know me, would it be believable?
No.
Well, at least I tried it.
No.
Not even that? Ivan, we never talked about one of the newer Spider-Man movies from this new trilogy, right? We never talked about Homecoming on this podcast. We never talked about Far From Home. Correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So this is our first time dissecting one of the more recent Spider-Man movies. And since it is, we're going to talk about the person that directed this movie. He's directed the previous two Spider-Mans, and he directed this movie as well. Jon Watts. I wasn't too familiar with him until the other day when I was doing some research. He started as a TV show director, doing a show called Onion News Network. It's a parody show. Quite successful when it comes to a critical take. But he made two films prior to the Spider-Man movies, Clown and Cop Car. These films were rated okay, but they were small films, so they didn't have much success. I say all this because after these two movies, Disney finds him, picks him, and he's directing Homecoming.
Mm.
This is sort of what Disney does. They look up the pool of upcoming director talent, and they're like, this guy has no name, this girl has no name, but they make good movies. Let's take them. Let's shoot them to the moon, right?
Yep.
My question to you is, how do you think they do this? A. And B, when they look at a director to helm a huge franchise like this, how do they select him or her without so much experience? You know what I mean? Like, how is it? There must be a couple of key things that they look at that they're like, most likely they'll be able to do this.
I feel like they just interview people like a job. They just see, like, they got a list, like, this guy made movies and they weren't bad.
Uh-huh.
And he can at least direct a movie.
Uh-huh.
And then they just interview them and see if they're not crazy. And if they're like, oh, this is a man.
Right.
This is a woman.
Right.
Then they hire him.
Wow. It's crazy. Because, like, even in regular jobs, there's so much turnover.
Yep.
You hire someone and you realize they're like you said, not a real person. They're very shallow. Like, what's 1 + 1? It's 2. Okay. What do you like to do?
Poo.
I like to poop. And then they fart. They usually let out a big fat one right there. And then you're like, well, give you the job, but just don't do that again. You know,
This happened to me.
it's crazy. It is crazy, but it just to me it seems insane that they're always able to. I shouldn't say always, because Captain America is probably one of those movies that didn't really work, and even Eternals. You know?
What?
Oh, I shouldn't say that. But how are they able to pick movie directors that are able to make great movies, or at least passable movies that make a lot of money?
Script.
The script matters.
Yeah. I mean, don't they have like a team
Well,
for every script?
yeah, they usually do, and I'm sure they have like not only the writers but like a team of supervisors.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that doesn't check with canon, because in Amazing Spider-Man 676, he actually said this to Mary Jane.
Yeah.
That would be annoying.
Yeah.
Well, do you think that's actually true?
What?
Like, don't do it, because in Spider-Man 788,
Probably not for comics, but for movies.
yeah, that's true. Because okay, so for this film, the writers of this film are Chris McKenna and Eric Sommers. They are two people who wrote on a lot of TV shows, Community. Come on, just kidding. Buffy the Vampire Slayer, those kind of movies, shows that what's his name really was a key part of it. Who's the guy in Community? The writer that did your favorite show, Rick and Morty?
Dan
Harmon.
Yeah.
So I think there's like a through line with that, and it's interesting that they're both comedic writers. And when you watch this film, you see that. But yeah, so that's Jon Watts. To me, it's a talent that Disney alone has. And I guess it's a talent that only them and DC would really need to have in their arsenal, right?
Yeah.
And obviously DC's discombobulation.
Giving up on them.
What's their... You've been saying that for 5 years now.
This is it.
What's the last DC thing?
The Zack Snyder thing.
Was that the last thing they left off?
Yeah, I think so.
They haven't released a movie in theaters since then?
Wonder Woman 2.
Oof.
Batman's coming out.
What?
Batman in March or something.
Oof, Batman.
It's going to be good.
You just said you gave up on them.
After Batman, of course.
Oh, that's so good. Ivan, let's talk about this movie.
Yeah.
I think I've said that 5 times, right?
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
We're watching. Let's take this movie first into context. We're watching, like I said at the top of this show, another Spider-Man movie.
Yes.
They don't end.
Yes.
And they will not end, Ivan.
Yes.
If only, like, I literally think Spider-Man movies are a virus now.
Yes.
Because they're spreading.
Yeah.
We already have Morbius.
Yeah.
Mobius.
I don't know.
The trailer for a side villain has already hit the interwebs, starring your boy Jared Leto. This is a side villain who hasn't even appeared in a main Marvel movie. That's how much clout Spider-Man has right now. But we've seen Black Widow this year. We've seen Eternals. Oh God. We've seen Shang-Chi. We've seen WandaVision.
Okay.
We've seen Loki.
Yeah.
The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Ivan, have you seen Hawkeye?
No.
Are you gonna watch it?
One day.
Have you heard spoilers?
A little bit.
Can I give it to you today?
Sure.
Okay. Just want to clear the air. Want to set a precedent.
Yeah.
Marvel's really doing the damn thing.
Good for them.
Like, think about it. There's 5 things or 4 things on TV that you can watch, a TV show that's Marvel. Like, literally Marvel-backed, Disney-backed shows. Can you believe that? Isn't this a crazy time?
It's a good time.
And they're building this world. They're building all this. There is this sense of another superhero movie in the air. Fatigue from superhero
Not
movies.
me.
That's what I want to say, though.
Who?
You. Just kidding. No.
The loyal fan.
What I'm trying to say is, I say that I roll my eyes when I say, oh, another Spider-Man movie, another Marvel project, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm still there. I'm still there with my syringe needle and my spoon and a rubber band to tie my arm and
Okay.
inject the Marvel serum into my arm.
Right.
Why do I keep doing this?
Because it's good for you.
It's good for me?
Yes.
A drug is good for me?
Sometimes.
I was thinking about this. I was pondering it in my head. And I've come to the conclusion that I'm unsavable. I'm into tube.
You don't need to be saved.
Why not?
Just you don't need to be saved. Like
So when someone's on a raft
yeah.
and you're on a big cruise ship and you see the person on the raft, you're like, they don't need to be saved.
If they were swimming in a sea of beautiful Marvel movies. then they would
Wow, look
have
what he
to be
did there.
saved.
Look what he did there. No, I really came to the conclusion that the reason I keep watching it is because they do it well enough. Like, we've had TV shows, obviously, for a long time in history. We've had superhero TV shows for for a bit, you know?
Yeah.
But I think this is the first time that they've done superhero TV shows at an A+ level as far as like quality, production quality, I should say, and enough thought put into the script that it makes me want to watch it. And that hasn't happened before. And when I've seen things like Flash on TV, I'm like, oh god, this looks horrendous. Or at least I expect it to be horrendous, you know?
Right.
Or the Arrow or whatever, all those kind of things. I'm just like, God, get me out of here. But with all these TV shows, I'm like, oh, I'm okay. I can watch this.
Mhm.
And even with the Spider-Man movies, I'm like, they're not going to do it not justice, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Hence, we get another Spider-Man movie. You have no feelings of this, of like fatigue.
No.
Not at all. Okay.
Mm-mm.
Okay. I'll take your word for it because I want to believe you.
I have no reason to lie.
Okay. We've had Homecoming. We've had Far From Home. Those films, would you consider those films targeted towards teenagers?
Kids to teens. I
Kids to
would say.
teens. Spider-Man, this new trilogy has been sort of, it's more of a demo for kids to teens, right? Because I think the guy playing it and like the story they're trying to tell is that kind of story.
Yep.
I would say this film is one of the first ones to be a little darker.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
A little more grown up.
A little more grown up. And it sort of reflects the story that they're trying to tell where Peter is growing up, you know?
Yep.
He's not a high school kid. And when we first met Peter in Civil War,
Yes.
he was a kid, a teenager who just wanted to be part of the Avengers. He wanted more responsibility. He wanted everything, right?
Yep.
And in this film, he's taken a step back, some would say,
Yeah.
and he just wants to be a normal human being
At a point.
at a point. He wants the best of both worlds,
Yeah.
which is sort of where the main problem shows, right?
Yeah.
He wants some of this and some of that,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll talk about some of that and some of this. For you, what do you think of the previous two films as far as where they stand in your Marvel all-time list?
Number 18 in all Marvel movies. That's Homecoming. And 26 in For Far From Home. I liked the first one. I just liked it.
Yeah.
The second one felt like a little too kiddie.
Yeah.
And then they didn't really feel too Spider-Man-y, more like Tony Starky with like that influence, you know? But I never hated them, but I wanted more just Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it.
I liked Homecoming, and like I said, I didn't watch Far From Home. I just, at that point, I was fatigued. And it was after Endgame, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was just like, I saw Endgame. It's kind of at the end of the game, you know? Like, I don't need to
Play again.
You know? Where were you on the spectrum when you were born? Sorry, guys. I had to do it. Where were you on the spectrum of excited before watching this film? How hyped were you?
I was pretty excited. Not like Spider-Man, but just like can't wait to see it.
Why?
Rumors, returning villains, Spider-Man.
Is it also like the end of a trilogy type of thing? Like it's the third film, you know, it's gonna have something big.
I didn't really know it was a trilogy until like recently.
Right.
I just
Well,
thought
you knew that because it's the third film in a series.
But I didn't know it was like labeled as like these 3 movies were part of the first trilogy.
Oh, you thought it could be like 5 movies or something?
Yeah. Like
Okay.
been quadrilogy.
Could it be though?
I don't know. I didn't know before this. Like only like a few weeks ago I was told like this is the last of the trilogy.
Oh, so you think the 4th film would be considered, even if it's with, what do you think Holland's coming back? How about that? So could the next film be part of a quadrilogy?
No. This is the end of the trilogy. But I thought they were just gonna like go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Gotcha.
And just like not do any eulogies.
Gotcha. Okay. So given that you weren't hyped on the fact that it was the end of something, you're more just hyped on the fact of like all the speculation and the fact that it's another Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
I was hyped because I think it was just like another Spider-Man movie, and they were making it out to be like this. Guys, I know that.
No. This.
I know that, but this?
Yeah.
This is going to be huge.
Yep.
You know Endgame? Times 10.
Mm.
Have you ever heard of a guy named Jesus Christ?
Mm-hmm.
Well, his story is not as interesting as Peter Parker's story.
True.
Something like that. And that idea sort of... Something about Spider-Man 2 is just like... It hits me.
Nostalgia.
Yeah. I think...
That's it.
That's actually it. No, I think it's also something about the colors of his costume, honestly. Like, the simplicity of red and blue.
Uh-huh.
Something about that is like... I like that. And that's like the primordial brain of mine. Or should I say primal?
Uh-huh.
Something like the Neanderthal.
I don't have that. I just have a regular brain.
I have a caveman brain.
Yeah.
So some like basic colors kind of open my eyes a little bit wider than before. Where did you watch this film?
AMC La Jolla.
Wow. Did you watch it in
Nope.
They don't have IMAX there, right?
Nope.
I think I always ask this. I wanted to watch IMAX, but we were trying to watch it the week of, so they were all booked. We watched it in digital. Like a bum. My wife was like, "Oh, they have this opening for Real D 3D." I was like, "You want to watch it in 3D?" She's like, "Oh, it's 3D? No, I don't want to watch it in 3D." Would you be down to watch this in 3D?
I never liked 3D. I don't like putting on the glasses and then like you could see like outside.
Yeah.
I'd rather just be
It's not
naked.
immersive enough.
Yeah.
You need a chip.
Yeah.
3D on.
Yep.
3D, huh? It really died, right?
Yeah.
Well, Avatar's coming out soon, so they'll probably bring that back.
I'll probably watch that in 3D just for like.
Cause he
Yeah.
tailored it
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah.
Good old Cameron.
A little Cammy.
How about Jamie?
J Cammy.
Cammy. I like it. Ivan, I'm gonna ask you the real important question right after this short break. Spider-Man, No Way Home. Ivan, what did you think about it?
Great. It was great.
Just kidding. I expected that. I was expecting either that or I didn't like it. Like I wanted.
What kind of psychopath would hate this movie? What kind of sick individual would hate this movie?
Ivan,
What kind of brown looking
I like this movie.
sick?
I liked it.
Good. Better.
But I have to be honest.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
When I was watching it, for the first half, I did feel like I was an adult. You know?
That's a good thing.
I felt like how you feel like when you listen to current hip hop.
Okay.
I'm like, it's good. It's just the same.
Okay.
But then obviously things happen. And I'm like, okay, that's different.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I liked it. The movie was like just nonstop boom, bap, boom, you know?
Yep.
It's like fun. Like you can't not, it's like you can't not like this movie.
Mm-hmm.
It tickles the parts of your brain that's like you can't just not like it. It's fun. It's pop.
Yep.
What were like the thoughts going in your head when you were watching this? Were there any of like, oh my God? Was it like, this is good? Or was it like, all right, I like it.
I was like, this is good. I like it.
There was never any like, oh my God.
No,
Okay.
there's never a moment like that.
Well, what did you watch it with a rowdy audience?
Not rowdy, but they were a little talkative. Like when people came out, they're like,
Really?
yeah.
Dude, my audience was on fire. They're like, when the trailer started or when it first started, claps. Woo!
That sucks.
It's honestly, that's why I sort of was disengaged for a little bit.
I guess you gotta go like, I think I went the perfect time. I went at 4, and the theater was kind of fullish,
Yeah.
but like the front row was empty, so it wasn't like packed.
Right.
So it was just like normal people who just like Marvel movies,
Yeah.
not freaks who loved day one Marvel movies.
I went at 6 p.m. on a Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
There is a tremendous amount of teenagers in there.
Yeah.
So, oh yeah. And then when certain people came out, oh yeah. Ah!
It was never like that. It
I was
just
like, and I looked over at my fiance at least 5 times and just feel like, oh God. It's like embarrassing to watch it type of thing.
maybe that's what it was, where you're like, I'm an adult.
Yeah. And I get it, you know? And I also get the fact that, like, some people are doing it out of, like, just to be funny.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, yeah, let's go. But there are a certain amount of, like, little kids that are just like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
And then, like, the even more embarrassing part is, like, the adults that are doing that. They're like, this is awesome.
All grown up.
Yeah. And that's triggering to no extent. But that's that. Ivan, this movie, spoiler alerts from here on out, right?
Yes.
Because we're not good at hiding or anything. This movie, I said that it's pretty much the same thing, but it does do one thing quite unique. At least one thing, which is it brings over 20 years of Spider-Man canon into one film. We've never seen any movie do that. And when I say that, I mean we've never seen 3 separate trilogies brought into one film. We've obviously seen Godfather, like that spans like probably like 30 years or 20 years in the time it takes to reach one film to another, and they all reference the same canonical history, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we've never seen a film take 3 separate trilogies, basically 3 separate story arcs with different cast members and all that into one film, and they bring it back. And the fact that they bring it back and it's good, you know, that is what is really the hallmark. When we look back at this film, we're going to say, like, that's pretty crazy. When you saw who you saw, when you saw Peter Parker 1, Peter Parker 2, and Peter Parker 3, you knew it was coming, right?
I was never 100% confirmed, but I was pretty sure it would happen.
Uh-huh.
But I never saw like spoilers of people who saw it and said like, yeah, they're in it. Just I only saw the ones before where like the leaked pictures or stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
But I was never like certain.
And when you saw them,
I was like, yes, home at last,
home at last.
homecoming, some might say.
Ivan, let's break down the plot. So everyone knows who Peter Parker is now. Everyone knows who Spider-Man is. It's Peter Parker. He's in trouble for killing Mysterio. Can you give me like a 2-sentence, 3-sentence synopsis of what happened in the last film? Like, what's this? Because I didn't watch Far From Home. What happened?
Mysterio was pretending to be a hero
Why?
because he wanted to pretend to be a hero.
So he was causing trouble and then fixing it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Spider-Man found out and he had him executed.
Really?
Point blank in the noggin. He went. Blood splattered on the screen.
Wow.
It was like red.
And if you're wearing 3D, that was a real treat.
And then Tom Holland, he went to the thing, Spider-Man, the eyes, and he looked through it. And you could see the reflection of Aunt May and Uncle Ben in each eye.
Wow.
It was something to behold.
Jesus Christ.
And that's it.
Oh, interesting. No wonder he's in trouble.
Well, he beat him. I think he was just dying. And then Mysterio was dying.
Uh-huh.
And
Why? Like he got stabbed or something?
Something like that.
Uh-huh.
Some movie gizmo.
Movie magic?
Yeah. And then with his dying breath, he faked a video of Peter Parker saying to the drones that he was controlling to like execute people.
Uh-huh.
And in that video, he said like, "Hurry, Spider-Man is Peter Parker, and he's a bad guy." It was like just a fake video.
So, and then Mysterio, what was his power?
He controlled these drones that could. You should have watched it. That could, like, project real. You remember in Iron Man? No, Avengers.
See how many there are? See? You feel that?
Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
At the start when he's talking to his dad in that like projection thing.
Yes.
He's like young.
Yes.
He can do that, but anywhere.
Gotcha.
And it's like actual physical things too.
Oh, wow.
And he just did that. That was his power.
Is he like a technologist?
Yeah, he's a super smart scientist guy.
Gotcha. Does he hate like Tony Stark?
Yeah.
Why?
Because he named that device that he was working on
Uh-huh.
like Fartovision or something like stupid. Barf, I think.
Uh-huh.
And he was like super embarrassed by that. He's like, he made fun of my life's work. I'm be a hero and
Show him.
yeah.
Okay. And why do people say Mysterio was right or something? in this film?
They're just like conspiracy theorists because I think it's kind of playing off like real life
Yeah.
where they see like fake videos and they think it's real.
Right.
And even the video in the movie was kind of like you could say it's fake because it feels like audio pasted together in
Uh-huh.
a way. But it's just playing off conspiracy theories and people are like,
Gotcha.
come on, that's obviously fake. And like, but it's right there.
Uh-huh.
And then the Alex Jones type of J. Jonah Jameson.
That's pretty cool.
So just like people are divided.
Okay, so we know, and now that's why Mysterio gives up his identity. People don't like some people don't like Spider-Man. Peter Parker, MJ, and Ned are trying to go into MIT, but because of Spider-Man's identity getting revealed, they are declined entry. Peter goes to Doctor Strange to fix this. So our boy Doctor Strange is in this film. He makes a spell to fix the mess that Peter made by making everyone forget who Peter Parker is, or forget that Peter Parker is Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Peter makes it more complicated, saying, I want 5 people to remember, but everyone else not to. This confuses Doctor Strange mid-spell, and he messes up the spell. This, along with many other things, is the parts that are like, come on, that Doctor Strange wouldn't mess this up.
Excuse me?
There are many things in this film that, like, you have to take logical leaps.
Like what? Like what?
Like, why is it so easy for Doctor Strange to mess up this earth-shattering... Like, literally, if he messes this up, he's going to mess up the whole world. He's like, okay, let's do the spell. And the fact that he gets confused or he gets fucked up while he's making the spell by Peter talking to him. Okay. Says the guy that saved the world.
I guess.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's things like that scattered throughout the film that if you were like a critic, you would be like, come on. And it'll be another reason why you can peg Marvel movies for being what they are. But I say all that to say, to me, it doesn't really matter.
It clearly does.
It matters, right? It matters to me.
Yeah.
But I'm able to look away at the end of the day and not really critique it based on that. I digress. Now we get people from other universes coming into this world.
Okay.
And I think this is where the movie kind of shines, you know, like the ability to bring in, like we were talking earlier, past villains and past heroes into this film is really, it's cool, you know?
Yeah.
When you see Doc Ock fighting with Spider-Man, this new Spider-Man, you're like, all right, let's do this. And when I first heard Green Goblin's ding 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 ding, come on, man.
Classic.
I'm just gonna ask right now, who's the greatest Spider-Man villain?
I think it has to be Green Goblin.
It has to be after this film.
Yeah.
Like, he was really good in the first one. Like, obviously it's a classic, blah blah blah. Doc Ock was good in the second one. Who else was good? Vulture was good.
Yeah.
But with this performance by our boy William Dafoe, he really just, what an actor, man. That face. Hold on, let me make the face.
It's like Joker.
Oh, sorry. But come on, man. Like, he's so good in this film.
Yep.
He's really what makes me just like, and whenever he shows up, it's so creepy. God, man, what an actor. But these bad guys, these villains, Doc Ock, Green Goblin, the last time we saw them was over 10 years ago. I literally remember being 15 or so watching Spider-Man 2 at the theaters.
Me too.
It's so crazy.
Yeah.
And what a tangled web they weave, pun intended,
Mhm.
where they're able to do this. And I mentioned the Marvel shows at the top of this episode of Peliculas with the Bros. Subscribe now. Bling. Because not only is it tied into these past Spider-Man films, but it's also tied into the current TV shows that are on Disney Plus. Not in the sense that like you need to watch it to understand this, but there's little Easter eggs hidden throughout this, you know? And the fact that we're in a Marvel world, Marvel universe, that they're able to do this is just like they literally have like comic books translated onto TV. And they're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
It's possible.
Yes.
I think this is obviously going to influence everyone to do it, you know? And it has been. DC has tried to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we're going to get this in smaller forms with things like any IP, you know? Harry Potter, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You're going to get like random things that have like, you have the shows that connect to the movie, that connect to the play on Broadway, that connect to the soundtracks.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think this is good? Do you think this is bad? What do you think about this in general? Hot take. Hot take Ivan coming through.
I think it's good. Like, it's just another thing. I don't think it's anything. Like, if anything, it's neutral. Because if you don't do it, I don't think it's going to hurt you.
Yeah.
But if you do it bad, it might hurt you. So.
And I've been watching the shows, and I think I've come to a realization that the movies are always going to be the movies, you know?
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be what drives the big bucks.
Yeah.
But the TV shows are just like another accoutrement.
Mm-hmm.
Like where if you're eating a burrito, the movies are the carne asada, the shows are the lettuce. They're not even the salsa fresca. They're the lettuce inside of the burrito.
Okay.
And therefore, the people who really want just they want that Marvel life,
Mm-hmm.
which I guess I do because I'm watching them all. But I'm pretty surprised that they're able to do this, is what I'm saying.
Like, to pull it off?
Yeah, because when this whole thing started with, like, they revealed that they're going to have, like, 30 things on TV and on in the movies, I was thinking, like, how are they going to be able to sew it all together?
I think it's a lot simpler.
It
than we think.
I
I think they just, like, they make the story and they see, like, you know what, Doctor Strange, he would actually work well here, and they just like weave through, and like his Doctor Strange he's not really affected by this Spider-Man thing. He isn't, because he forgets at the end.
Right.
So
Right.
And that could apply to like WandaVision, where nothing really affects anything else if they're just like a little side character who just like, oh, here you go, here's some help. And then he moves on with his life.
Yes.
So, like, they're still straight up their movies, but the weaving is just, like, in there. It comes out because, like, but they're still, like, psh, psh, psh.
Yeah.
But it's not like they have a giant web in the Marvel CEO's office.
But they do.
But it's not like...
It's not as complicated as it seems.
Yeah.
Like, if you just, like, zoom in into one movie, you're like, oh, okay. It works.
Yeah.
That's where I was afraid where it wouldn't work. And it would be like you're watching this movie that you need like 30 different movies to watch.
Mm-hmm.
It helps, like in this film, it helps if you knew the original Spider-Man, the second installation, and now this one. Because when I was watching it with my fiance, she was like, Why are people clapping for this guy specifically?
What guy was it?
I think it was like Green Goblin.
Okay.
Just like random
Yeah.
guys, like showing up. And I'm like, oh, it's because, the
Let me tell you
backstory.
what happened.
Let me tell you, woman. One of those.
Like that?
I love those. I digress again. We'll cut this part out. Let me just get it. Okay. Not only do they have Doc Ock and Green Goblin, but they also have Electro and Sandman. Why did they pick the villains that they picked?
Those were all the villains, weren't they?
There was
Hobgoblin.
Hobgoblin.
And
There's Venom.
Well, they can't do Venom because they have Venom. I think that would be too confusing. Hobgoblin was like a side villain in that movie.
They can't do Hob. Well, he's a side villain, but our boy Harry Osborn is a big part of the original trilogy.
Yeah, but they already got one Green Goblin. It's like, okay, here's the dad Green Goblin from the other universe, and here's the son, but he's not his son. And he's also dressed like a Hobgoblin. Because they're both looking like Hobgoblins.
Yeah. I think the real reason, though, is that Frank goes under... he's Me Too'd right now.
I don't think why would they need him, though? I was talking about Amazing Spider-Man Hobgoblin.
Oh, well, that Hobgoblin was bad.
That's when, like, they don't need him.
Yeah.
And James Franco, like, they don't need him.
They don't technically need him.
Yeah.
But what about the fan service of, like, seeing him? He would have got a big pop.
It's too much. Like, it's already a lot in this movie. They got to pick at some point.
Yeah.
And Norman Osborn's more of like, than this guy, Harry Osborn.
Right.
He was only really important to Peter.
That's true. And MJ.
Yeah.
So now we have 4 villains. Doctor Strange is like, the reason that these guys are coming over is because you messed me up during the spell. Okay, I'll take that. Spider-Man then decides that he wants to fix them.
Mm-hmm.
Which, okay, I guess you want to fix them instead of sending them back to their respective universe. And Doctor Strange is like, if they die, they die. He turns full
Ivan Drago.
So he's trying to, Spider-Man's trying to help them. He fights Doctor Strange in a cool battle in the mirrored dimension. Cool little thing. Christopher Nolan should get some royalties on Doctor Strange, shouldn't he?
For what?
Inception.
No.
Like, if you create a visual language,
all he did was do the.
That's big, dude.
Doctor Strange is more like a kaleidoscope.
He does that though. Didn't that happen in Inception? Not just the whole, but it was like it. Look, if Nolan was Kanye, and and Jon Watts or Favreau or and Feige was Drake, Nolan would be like, I made you. And
Maybe.
then they would make, and then that's what would make Nolan like, give me creative control over any Marvel. All right, here we go. We found it.
I don't want this movie at all.
I'm Nolan. Feige, I made you.
Mm-hmm.
I want. Hold. I want Punisher. Movie. Now.
Fit.
You used my visual language for your film, Doctor Strange. Give me Punisher. Creative control. 100 million budget.
Okay.
He makes Punisher. Do you like that? His take on Punisher.
But they would want it to fit in the MCU, so like
It's gonna be like what you said. Like the very last thing he does is gives you that little bow, the little tie connection string to.
But it has to keep the energy of Marvel, because that's
Why?
their thing. Because no, they're all like that.
But why does it have to? It can. I know they're all like that, but maybe this is the one thing.
There's one Punisher movie. Punisher.
You know, there's a Punisher storyline that's like he kills every superhero,
Yeah.
and that's like the dimension that they're in, the multi-dimension.
Maybe now that that's in like a multiverse, but still they want to keep it kid friendly for all of them.
Just don't put it on Disney Plus.
What, HBO Max?
Backed by Sony.
Put all the poopy ones in Sony.
I have to say, like, and to your point of like this multi-dimensional, that's how they're gonna do. I do think that's how they're gonna do, like all of these R-rated R-rated Marvel movies or PG-13,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, I think that's where Deadpool's gonna live.
Yeah, they're probably gonna do some like Black Label Marvel
Yes.
sort of deal.
Yeah.
They would just have to make it obvious, like, look, this is adults only.
And I wonder how that works with like the Disney Plus of it all. Because when you see Disney, you automatically think like family, you know?
Uh-huh.
So will it be just like a hidden little toggle in like the settings, like turn on Black Label?
I don't know. I feel like they're gonna be like, you know what, throw it out there, but they're gonna advertise it as like they're gonna throw out advertisement for Black Label Marvel,
Disney After Dark.
something like that.
But that, I know for us it seems like just do it, but it's a real big risk as far as like hurting the Disney name. Because there's a certain weight that comes with Disney, you know?
yeah.
An identity, a brand. And by putting anything on that, it really tarnishes it.
But it's not anything. It's just an R-rated one. It's still good. It's just R-rated. I think like they just got to advertise the poop out of the fact that it's adult oriented and make it obvious. And it's up to the parents to be like, you know, I should probably take 2 seconds to see if this is a R-rated movie or not.
But you know, parents, they just give their kids the phone.
But Disney's too big
Kids
to care about parents anymore.
No, I think it's the opposite. They're so big that they have to care.
That's why they advertise a ton, and they're like, look, we said you were stupid in this scenario.
I don't think they're gonna do this.
Black Label?
They're gonna do a Black Label-esque, but it's gonna be
Put on Hulu.
they're gonna split Disney Plus into like two entities, and
Why would they do that?
you'll be able to access one just to have this separate entity and not tarnish the Disney name. They're like, okay, you still have Disney Plus, but now there's this new thing called
Disney Black.
No, it won't even have. And why you put Black, you racist son of a gun? I caught you there, didn't I? They won't have Disney on it at all. They'll have like Hulu.
Mm-hmm.
I know there's Hulu, but I just can't think of a name right now. They'll have
they
like
can just put on Hulu.
they can, but they need it to tie to the network.
But they have Marvel shows on Hulu.
Yes, but they want Spiderman. They want Daredevil movie on their streaming
I would
provider.
think they would put like the main fun Marvel movies in Disney Plus, and then the Deadpool Black Label stuff on Hulu, and still just that fixes it. Because when they release the movie, you'll just see like rated R, Deadpool. Like, oh, my kid can't watch that. But when it comes out on streaming, you just put on Hulu. Like, look, Hulu already has a ton of adult stuff already. You kind
Mhm.
of should have known. Disney Plus, if you want to watch the kids stuff, there's Disney Plus.
Yeah. I just do think in the future they're going to make it easy for us to switch from Disney to Hulu from within the same app.
Maybe.
You know, that way it's easy to navigate. I guess this doesn't really matter as far as like this movie is concerned,
Yeah.
but like just the idea of having bad R-rated movies accessible through Disney Plus, it's gonna happen. It's just gonna be a brand switch, an easy brand switch
But
inside the app.
it would look kind of bad if it's that simple, but they're still paying two prices.
No, it'll be one price. Actually, yeah.
But that's like missing out on so much money. Like, look, we combine them, and now you only have to pay half. Why would Disney do that? If they make it so, are you saying they would make it one service, and then you could just like, do I watch Disney or Hulu?
Yeah. Disney Plus right now costs $7, right?
Yeah.
Hulu costs
like 15 without ads.
Or 6 without ads,
Something
right?
like that.
I think they're gonna lower Hulu. I think they're gonna make Hulu not touch. I'm confused now. I confused myself.
Because if they combine it and they say, look, it's all one, you just have to switch, they would have to lower the price, or they combine the prices, and I don't think people would like that either.
Right.
I think the only way is to like have them be separate. Everyone still pays $10 here, $10 there.
Yes. They will do that. I think the only difference is it's going to be accessible. You're going to be able to switch to Hulu from within the Disney app, and the same thing on Hulu.
But I think that I wouldn't like that, because I would say, like, why not just combine them if it's just bloop? Why am I paying 2 subscriptions for one app and it's just flipping over?
Because they provide different services. The Hulu is like to watch live
I'm talking
TV.
about like the normal guy who's like the mom and pop who's like, why am I paying 2 services? Like, I would be annoyed by that.
Yeah.
Like, I understand, but
I think it goes back to your marketing thing. Like, market the crap out of it.
yeah.
Like, explain why.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see.
And I don't think they have much. Like, Deadpool's the only thing that's in the works that's rated R.
In the works. But I'm talking about when I want to see Nolan's Punisher.
But I'm saying they don't have to do that yet. And I don't
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, correct.
So I don't even know if they have plans for it. If they're like, why would we risk?
They have plans for it.
You don't know that.
They have plans for it.
But the Nolan one. Not
No. Yeah.
I'm saying I don't think they have plans for some rated R thing, because if they do a rated R, they're gonna have to calculate like, okay, now we have to advertise the fact that this is Black Label stuff.
I think they are in the preliminary state. I think they have like a 20-year scope. Probably. And they're like, all right, we know at this point in the 15-year trajectory, we're going to have to do rated R films. The basic plan is that we're going to eventually have to move these 2 entities out. But I don't think they've actually have done any work to do that part. I think they just know, like, all right, we just have to start getting ready on year 8.
Okay.
That's how companies or successful companies should work and do work. Back to Spider-Man. He's trying to heal them. He heals some of them. He heals Doc Ock. He's going to heal Norman Osborn. Norman goes full crazy. This is, I think, where the film really shines. For me, it starts picking up. Norman being the crazy man that we know him, I think he really makes the villain part of this movie work. His acting, again, is superb. His facial expressions, him able to just reach into this like devil character is awesome. The fight between him and Spider-Man
that was brutal.
So brutal. Like, yeah. I don't get how he's so strong though.
He was that strong in other movies.
Yeah, I guess. And I love when Spider-Man's like punch him in the face and he's just like laughing. Oh man, so creepy. And he goes full crazy and he kills Aunt May.
I didn't expect that.
Me neither. And I like it. And it goes back to the tone switch that Spider-Man's doing, where it was a kid movie. Now we're going full adult and we're killing people.
That's good. It's aging up with the fans.
Yep. Hence, Peter gets depressed. He's trying to figure out what's going on in life. His homies MJ and Ned are trying to figure out how to help him. Ned opens a portal. It's another like, how can that really happen? Don't you need training for that? Anyways, he finds Peter.
Mhm.
It's not the Peter he knows. It's the best version of Peter. I think we can all agree about that. It's Andrew Garfield. Andrew, my man. He comes out of the portal, and now we have another Peter, another Spider-Man from a different trilogy, or it wasn't a trilogy, huh? Duology. And they keep robbing this man, but he won't die. You know what I mean? Like Garfield, he gets what he's deserved. One thing about Garfield, like he's an actor. You know, like if he's gonna be in a movie, he's gonna act. Anyways. The crowd went crazy when this happened, obviously. Everyone's like, yeah, he's here. When did you realize that this version of Peter was that version of Peter? Did you, like, right when he opened it, do you, like, oh, that's a different Peter?
I kind of suspected when, like, let's find Peter Parker.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, this is kind of a good place where they would drop in. And then I saw his silhouette. Like, okay, that's not Tom Holland Peter.
I didn't recognize it until he started running up and everyone started cheering. I was like, oh, that's probably him. And he comes out, and I love how comedic they do it all. Not only this part, but just like all the interactions between the Spider-Man and the Peters, you know? Like I think that really works. So they find that version of Peter, and then they open another portal, and it's our boy
Tobey Maguire.
The OG of it all.
Aged 30 years.
He does look old, huh?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Like, oof. They should have put him in the suit.
This works. There's my stomach. Do you hear that?
I thought that was like the air conditioner or something.
I think, man, it's just so weird to see this actually happen. It leaves me dumbfounded. And can we just say that we should give credit to Into the Spider-Verse?
No.
Or is this really like what they had planned?
Probably a little credit. They're like, you know what? It's a good idea. Let's do it again.
Because I wanted to say this movie was like, this is one of the big things that is going to make it super original. Like, you want to say this is experimental, but it's been done before, I guess, technically. But it is experimental. I do like this about the film, that it is that one thing that it's really, truly different. And they go and find the Peter of this film, and he's depressed, and he's crying about his Aunt May. And they're all like, we've lost people in our lives too, you know? Did that hit you?
Yeah. Yeah, it did.
Peter obviously lost Uncle Ben. Yeah. The other Peter lost
Girlfriend Gwen
Stacy.
Yeah.
I was listening to a podcast and I didn't pick up on it until I listened to it, obviously. But Garfield's portrayal of him losing Gwen is also real life, because he was going out with Emma Stone, and supposedly he got dumped by her. Like, this is the top tabloids portion of this podcast. Like, he got dumped by her, and he regrets that. He still wants to be with her, and his performance is meta because he's really performing like, I really lost her, and he's crying about that. What do you think about that?
Sure.
You like
Believable.
that? You like that? What's it? Entendre, double entendre.
Sure.
I love, like I said, it goes back to, I love how they make all this work. When it needs to be funny, they all have something funny to add. because the fact that you have 3 different Peters is funny, and there's a dramatic part of it where that works too, because they all have an experience of loss, and they make that work. You have to give a tremendous amount of credit to the team that made this work. The screenwriters, the director, the actors, everything just clicks. And this is the first time they're able to get a bunch of bad guys on a movie, and it works.
Yes.
Because they've done that in other films. And I think that's where Spider-Man 3 actually doesn't work. When they have multiple bad guys, I'm just like, they don't have enough screen time to make it work. But they've shown that it's not screen time. It's just like how you use them. Because in this, they have 4 freaking bad guys. They have 3 good guys, and it works. They just need to have good screenwriters and good acting behind that, and a good director, and probably Feige there too to oversee it.
And it helps that they're already set up with their own movies.
That's true.
And like, even if you don't watch them, they don't really explain their entire backstory, and they just say like, look, we all died fighting a Peter, and that's really all you have to know.
Yep.
Like, you don't have to know Dr. Octavius tutored Peter 1 for all that stuff.
It helps.
Yeah.
But you don't need it.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So they're just like, they could either be seen as just villains that like from other universes, and they all have like enough character where you're like, oh, he's a person.
Right.
And that's all you need. You don't have to go like super deep backstory, like another Uncle Ben dying. Like, no, bad guy. You already know his backstory. You already know his backstory.
Uh-huh. I didn't take that into consideration. Just like the existing backstory helps them out being able to execute telling a story without having to go deep into each character.
Like, you only want the story of the main Peter, and that's him growing up. All the other ones they're all side characters. And that's all they have to be.
That being said, this is a key point. Like, so they all team up to beat the bad guys, right? And there's key parts in those scenes that if you watched the originals, it would have helped. But even taking it by itself, it works. One scene I'm thinking about in particular is when Zendaya's character MJ is falling from the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
And Andrew Garfield's Peter Parker goes and saves her. If you know the original...
he says, though, when they first meet, he says, like, I lost MJ, I couldn't get her.
But he doesn't know how. Like, he specifically saves her how he couldn't save...
Okay. Gwen
Stacy. And the fact that he's crying when he saves her, and then, like, if you knew the backstory, that works so well.
Yeah.
Extremely well. But because that's the only part I felt like, the feels are here. The feels have arrived. And then my fiance looked over at me and she's like, did his girlfriend die in the other movie? Like, right when that happened.
Yeah.
I'm like, honey.
Yes.
She died. It's okay. Here's my shoulder. Cry on that. But if she saw the original, she would have probably cried in this right here. Because there's so much weight to that.
Yeah.
I love it. That was my favorite part of the film. I know it's yours too, right? Just kidding.
Nah.
Let's talk about this right now. Let's get this out of the way. Who's the best Peter Parker?
Who?
Yep.
I think
Take
Toby's...
into consideration.
Okay, you don't even want to hear my opinion.
No, I don't.
You want to tweak it until it's your opinion.
Listen to what I asked. All right? Listen to what I asked.
For the best Peter Parker.
Yes.
Toby.
Why?
Because I like the meek Toby. And then I like Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man best.
Why?
Because he's not meek. He's like, I'm walking here. Because I like that change from Peter being like to like he's Spider-Man. Like, it's like Batman and Bruce Wayne sort of thing,
right.
where they're different, but both of them are they're still both the same person. But just that split is really nice.
canonically in the comics, Spider-Man is Peter Parker is wisecracking.
Him too?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's not so much like a dweeb as Toby. Yeah. That's just how he was portrayed. But if that's what you like the complete opposite, right?
Yeah.
Then that's what it is. So where does Tom Holland stand?
I think he's just like, he's the best crier for sure. Like that man can look like he's in pain. He's just like a mix of everything, and he's still young. Like I was thinking, like in these 3 movies, he was all in high school.
Yeah.
But in Spider-Man 1, he was in high school for like 8 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's like all this build up, and now we're gonna get Spider-Man. Which I don't think it's too bad. It's like finally like some setup of a character.
Yes.
But I think Tom Holland, like, there's still more to see of him, obviously. But I think he's a good mix of everything. And now that it's just like Spider-Man being Spider-Man, I think we're gonna get more pure like wisecracking with just straight up villains, and then Peter Parker being Peter Parker smart by himself instead of like having Tony's influence and having to deal with Tony's problems.
And why do you think it's gonna be? You were saying like you're gonna get like a more simple Spider-Man.
Spoiler.
Go ahead.
Because everyone forgot who he is, so he's like completely alone now. Because by then he is doing everything on his own.
Yep.
So it's gonna be him just trying to figure out how to get up there. Like he had a book like GED study guide.
Yep.
So it's like he's gonna put in the work, and he's still gonna be Spider-Man. And he made his suit now, so it's
versus using the Iron Man suit, right?
Yeah, and the suit's so nice looking.
Yeah.
Like that shiny blue.
Oh,
like,
come on.
So good.
Give me that shiny blue.
Yeah.
Where you buy your materials at.
Yeah.
And he also goes and he's living in a rented out room that's very reminiscent of Toby's room.
Yeah. I was thinking like they're gonna use the same one.
I know, right?
I was like, if they do that, I'll be so happy. But it's like, just another poor guy's room.
And then that skinny little neighbor comes out.
Imagine.
She's older. Oh, that looks so creepy.
She's like 15. Her dad's in a wheelchair.
Oh, that'd be the first
thing. Where's my rent? Imagine. But it's gonna be good. It's like now he's Spider-Man and Peter Parker, like the classic version, you know?
Yeah. And how they beat all, like you were saying, they beat the bad guys and they fix everything because Peter tells Doctor Strange, erase everyone, erase me from everyone's memory. They do that because the multiverse is breaking? How would you explain that?
Well, say it again.
Like why do they specifically make everyone forget about Peter Parker at the very end? Everyone, including MJ.
Oh.
Ned. Why does he have to do that?
Because I think they were all breaking through because they wanted to find Peter. Because they knew who he was. Because like that spell would make people forget that who was who.
Yep.
But now that
there's people coming,
they have to make sure everyone forgets so they won't break through because of that spell that was wonky.
Correct. Hence, everyone forgets him, but there are people coming through. There are people from other dimensions coming through.
Yes.
Who's coming through? Did you see the silhouette? Because they have this visual language.
Rhinoceros.
They have this visual language, right, of how they represent the multiverse breaking, which is a pretty cool effect. I like the sound of it. And in that purple goo that was breaking, you see silhouettes of entities, right, coming through. And you saw a rhino, right?
It's only one I could recognize.
I heard things called like this guy called Craven, which is another bad guy.
Okay.
So this is how they're doing that too, right? Bringing other bad guys from other dimensions.
Yes.
we're gonna go into the stinger now, and talk about how Venom. See, this is where it's like it's so hard to talk about because it's hard to explain.
Venom.
But Venom was basically in this Spider-Man's dimension. Then he gets snapped out, right? With Doctor Strange's fix, but a piece of Venom sticks around in this universe. I don't know how. See, that's another how does that happen? But
I heard I think in comics the Venom thing, he's like multidimensional, like that species.
Good one, good catch. So I imagine that's how they're gonna intertwine that.
Awesome.
You're like, I'll take it. Yeah, they're just setting up a shitload of stuff, aren't they?
Just Venom.
What?
Just Venom.
Well, doesn't this mean that Tom Hardy's Venom is not gonna be
In Spider-Man.
in this Spider-Man's Venom?
Yes.
And it also means that Tom Hardy's Venom is gonna look for Spider-Man in his dimension. Cause he's like, I'm gonna really look for this Spider-Man guy.
I don't think so.
Cause he said I'm gonna go to New York to find him.
But then he got zapped away.
Right. So he's like, okay, I'm still gonna go to New York.
But he's not gonna find anyone.
But he's gonna go to New York. That's where he's like, that's what his storyline is gonna go. Maybe not so much Spider-Man, right?
I don't think.
But there's
I think
gonna be
he's
villains.
oh, now that I'm not here anymore, I guess there's no Peter Parker.
Nah, I think he's going to New York.
But then what? I think Venom's done.
I think it's. Oh, really?
Yeah.
They're already working on third one. What do you mean?
What would it even be about?
Whoever the next bad guy is. Remember, there's Riot. There's that guy at the very end.
I guess.
There's always bad guys.
But then he wouldn't go to New York.
We'll see. Yeah, maybe you're right. Anyways, they're setting up a lot of shit.
Uh-huh.
Do you see the Spider-Man Into the Universe trailer?
Doctor Strange.
No. Sorry, Spider-Man.
The
part
animated one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a part 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Are we gonna get Spider-Man fatigue? Because there's so many Spider-Man related things now.
No.
Wow. Hot take.
I think if there's any fatigue, we would notice it with less people going to theaters.
True. And this movie is the second biggest film of all time already.
Yeah, so I don't think fatigue's real until it shows it's real.
Can I propose something to you?
Yeah.
Next Spider-Man movie, right? Tom Holland
Yes.
by himself. He's going to college. He's going to community college,
Okay.
right?
Yes.
He meets a kid.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, oh, this kid seems cool. Hey, kid, what's your name? Harry Osborn. Right?
Nah.
Played by? Ready?
Timothy Chalamet.
Oh, yeah, baby. And then.
The Zendaya.
Yeah. Come on. You know where I'm
Love
going.
triangle.
Come on.
I think that's too
And then Dune.
obvious.
So you have Dune. Spider-Man. A real life love between Tom and Zendaya. Zendaya is going to really be in part 2 of Dune.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, this Timothy guy. He's kind of cute now that I'm looking at him every day
I
for.
propose even more spicy. They make this Tom Holland Spider-Man bisexual. Where am I going with this?
Oh my God.
Instead of Gwen
No.
Stacy, Ben Stacy, played by Timothy Chalamet.
I like where you're going. Can I propose a slight tweak?
You may try.
I'm sticking with he meets Harry Osborn, community college.
They fall in love.
But Harry is bi.
And he falls in love with him, but Tom's like, no.
Yeah. And he's like, I really like this girl called MJ. He's like, MJ.
I'm gonna date her out of spite.
Yes.
I don't know. That's
And then
too
he's
evil.
like, but Harry, you don't like that. And he's like,
yeah. Goblin.
Yeah.
Goblin lab.
yeah.
I don't like any of these ideas.
No,
even,
come on, you
even my
proposed
own.
it.
Even my own.
Come on.
No.
What a better way to
I just don't
Make
like
it-
Timothy in there. It's too like
meta.
real life stuff.
Everyone loves a good meta-ness.
It would feel too much. Like we already had this. This was already kind of meta enough. Like let me just normal Spider-Man.
But we already know Timothy's the dark prince of this world, you know? Like, he's dark. Where Tom is like the cookie cutter, yeah. Or, yeah, okay, maybe. It's too white. It's getting too white now. You need some darkness. Who's a good, dark, up-and-coming Harry Osborn?
Idris Elba.
Idris Elba. Yeah. No, he should be Norman.
And then the son, played by
Jaden
Childish Gambino.
Jaden Smith.
He can't act like that.
Yeah, he can.
I don't think so. I don't want to see him in there either.
I know. He really needs to be a good actor.
Yeah.
I don't want to see a half-ass Harry. Give me another one. Come on. We have to think about this.
I don't know any young black actors is the thing.
There's the guy who was in Moonlight.
I guess.
Right?
Yeah. But I think they would want a big face. He's not a big face.
Michael B. Jordan.
Let's move on.
Okay, let's leave on this. Do they go black or do they go bisexual?
I think it's just gonna be like a Gwen Stacy, an Asian Gwen Stacy.
Asian Gwen Stacy, played by
Aquafina. It works.
Harriet Osborn, Aquafina.
Let's
Let's go. Ugh. Why are we speculating about this?
because we're right.
Rewatchability of this.
Yeah.
High, medium, low.
Medium to high.
Yeah, I
I'll
said this.
rewatch it at least one more time.
I really want to rewatch it because I didn't enjoy fully the first experience because of all the little kids. I want to watch it in IMAX too. Best scenes.
Just when the Spider-Mans came out, it was just like, I'm home at last.
What about when the Spider-Mans were like joking about like their lives? Like, where'd you fight? I fought in space.
I didn't like it too much. I felt that was a little too like,
Gimmicky.
yeah, it was cool, but like, I could see people not liking it just for that.
Yeah. I felt exactly what you felt, but I actually liked it because I'm like, we gotta enjoy this.
We got to talk about the elephant in the room.
Yeah, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Cracking each other's back. Come on.
I like when they finally were a team and then they're like swinging off each other.
Yeah.
It was like perfectly.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Come on, man. Let's go. I love like how they all help in the ways they didn't help in their original film.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Goblin, Octopus.
Yep.
Not Gwen.
Can we just say Garfield is like an incredible actor? Like his performance was really good. Whereas Toby's like, it was good, but you could tell like
You're biased.
the quality level of Garfield.
Yeah,
I think him and Holland are better actors than Toby, I should say.
probably.
Okay. Thank you. Let's rate this movie. Be honest.
Out of webs,
Spiderwebs, yep. Out of 5 spiderwebs.
3.75.
Dang.
That's a good
Props.
score.
Thank you for being original. I thought you were going to go like 4.75.
Not a psychopath. I don't give James Bond a 4.5 or something. Boom.
I give it a 4.
You're sick.
Ivan, it's time for a section we like to call
Things and such.
Hawkeye.
Never watched it. Never will.
I'm gonna spoil it for everyone.
Okay.
Kingpin's in it.
Yep.
We didn't even say Daredevil in Spider-Man.
How much in the movie? Like,
God damn it.
there's so much. I was like, that's something. That's something. That's something. Like, I was losing track of like things that were happening.
Oh, that's when people clapped, and my fiance was like, "What? Why does that even matter?"
Even that scene, I was a little like, why is he here?
Get him out. Black Widow's sister's in this. Yelena.
Okay, yeah.
Which was surprising. Because she was like in 2 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
3 episodes. They're doing all the things. They're mixing and matching.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I think the Hawkeye, I like it because it's Christmas.
Themes?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's one of those like Die Hard
Okay.
Christmas themed where it's like doesn't really matter, but it's there. So it's gonna be replayability right there. So Daredevil, all these guys are getting mixed in. What are we gonna see? A show or a movie with all these characters?
I think just show like street level stuff.
But that what's her name? The actress?
Haley Steinfeld,
No,
Black Widow's sister.
yeah.
Florence Pugh.
Pew. She's too big to do a TV show.
Calling her fat?
No, she's too famous.
Oh.
She's too good of an actor to just be doing a TV show about Marvel, you know? I don't think they're just going to do that to her.
But the Marvel shows are a little like higher quality. Like, I don't think there's anything
True.
to look down on when you're in one.
Especially when they're paying that moolah.
Yeah.
Okay. The Northman,
I want to see that.
directed
That's
by
nice.
Robert Eggers.
Mr. Eggman. Dr.
Eggman.
Eggman.
Robert Eggman is making this film. Previously from The Witch and...
The wardrobe.
No, The Witch and the other film,
Yeah, I don't remember.
The Lighthouse?
Yep.
Starring our boy.
What's his name in Succession? The main guy. He's playing the tech.
Oh, no. Sorry. I was talking about...
Willem Dafoe.
Yeah, and our boy. No. You're it's so meta. It's so meta. How do I get out of this? The Lighthouse
Yes.
stars our boy
Willem Dafoe.
and
Robert Pattinson's not in it.
yeah.
No, as who?
No, I'm saying in The Lighthouse.
Yeah.
Only our boy Robert Pattinson is in The Lighthouse.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
Why would you say that?
I don't know. I don't even know why I'm here. The Northman,
Yes.
starring our boy
Willem Dafoe.
and the main guy who is
The next villain in Succession.
his name's Skarsgård.
Yes.
What Skarsgård? Alex Skarsgård?
Something like
Alexander Skarsgård. God damn it. Looks good, right?
that. Mm-hmm.
It's basically Thor, but real life.
Just like Norse life.
Norse life. Living that Norse life. Yeah. Looks like it's gonna be good, right?
Yeah.
Excited about that. Euphoria. You should watch it, I would say.
I probably will one day, but
It's not as bad as you think it is.
I know, but I'm happy to wait.
And visually it's really good. That's why I would recommend it more so than anything. Zendaya. There it
Hater.
is. Draco the Ruler. Rest in
Heard.
peace. Did you ever listen to The Man, the Myth, Legend? I think he inspired our boy.
How many boys do we have?
Too many.
Jesus.
Remble.
Okay.
I think they have the same flow.
Camp.
Yeah. Can I ask you a quick question? Who's your favorite actor or actress? Do you have one?
Maybe in like phases. Like I really like Jeremy Strong
Okay.
and Adam Driver.
Yeah.
Like I read an Jeremy Strong interview, and he's like so like,
The New Yorker interview?
I don't know, it might have been,
Yeah.
but he's like so like spiritual and like thinking, and he's just cool.
He does the method acting.
Yeah,
So he's been depressed for the past 3 years.
I would too.
Yeah. Driver's a good. Yeah, I think he's mine. But I asked you this because my fiance asked me, who's your favorite actor and actress? I was like, I don't know. But for the actress part, I was really like, oh, I have no idea. Because I don't think I do have one.
Actress. I mean, I think like there's some sexism in this.
There
question.
definitely is.
I'm trying to think of an actress who was like, wow. Oh, Anya Taylor-Joy.
Yeah.
Or
But
Florence Pugh too.
For me, it's like, if I see this person in a movie, I'm excited.
Mm-hmm.
There's no actress like that. I know there's ones that I like
Mhm.
the two you mentioned, but there isn't one that's like, oh man, can't wait to see this film because of her. That only exists in guy terms for me.
Sexism.
Maybe Lady Gaga now, because it's like, what is she gonna do next? You know, what's this crazy Italian lady gonna do next? Remember Kanye Drink Champs?
Yeah,
Big Sean did Drink Champs.
I heard.
Can I tell you synopsis?
Yes.
This is the only part that matters.
Yeah.
Kanye is evil.
No, he's not.
Can I say
think
why?
He's ignorant.
No.
Evil is an action. He's like, I want Big Sean to die.
No, not in that way.
Okay.
He's evil in the sense that he literally only does whatever's good for him.
Yeah. Is
He-
that evil?
What?
Is that evil?
Being selfish is evil.
I don't think so.
But being selfish doesn't make you evil. It's just an evil quality.
Okay.
And I think the fact that Kanye does it so much, it is what makes him a bad person.
Wrong.
I know why you say wrong, because I think you're like
I think just
his good outweighs his bad.
not even that. I just think there's no bad people. It's just like super flawed, egotistical.
Okay, you're right. Yeah, I shouldn't call him evil. You're right. That was too hard.
Yeah.
But
Sure.
he is bad sometimes.
It's ignorance, which I guess is also bad, but it goes back to like there's no bad. It's just issues all the way down.
Yeah. He just knows. The thing about him is that he's very smart because he knows, Kanye, he knows how to manipulate people.
Mm-hmm.
The reason I say this because, like, he knows how to take people's buttons. And he knows how to use things to his advantage to get what he wants.
Okay.
Ultimately, that's good. But poor Big Sean, man. Because
he's doing fine though.
he's doing fine, but I say that because he's hurt by Kanye. And Kanye doesn't care.
Neither do I.
Like, the fact that he can... The big thing is that Big Sean has always been supportive of Kanye.
Mm-hmm.
But when Kanye deems something unsupportive, any little thing, he blasts you, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And for a unsuspecting victim like Sean, he's like, but I've been your ride or die. I haven't done anything really wrong, you know? And that's
Yeah.
the messed up part where Kanye's like, he's horrible. He's not my friend anymore. After all these things that supposedly he did for him.
Yeah.
But saying that, Kanye did give him his chance, you know?
I mean, exactly.
Yeah.
Like
He put him in the spot where he is.
yeah.
He gave him... No.
He made him. who he is. Like, he wouldn't have been anything without Kanye. Like, I know he worked his way like to make his music, but Kanye's like the one who got him there.
That's like where it gets like,
Dicey.
yeah, in the like there's if someone raises your stock just by being next to you, right? That's one thing. What you do with that stock is up to you. To me, what he's done with that stock is like keep trying to increase it. That has its own merit, you know? Like, that should be considered something on its own. But I think what Kanye sees is only like, you're here directly because of, like, you're only here because of me. But no, he's here because of you, but he's here because of you and him. Right? Don't you think that's true in all senses of life? Like, you're at where you are because of, like, people, but also because of your decisions and your actions.
Yeah.
And I don't think Kanye ever looks at anything like that. Even like people like Drake or Jay-Z. Like, Jay-Z's only good because of all the beats I gave him. If it
I
wasn't,
don't think it's like that.
You want to bet?
Is there an interview that says he says that or what?
I think if he was honest, if he were just honest, he'd be like,
I'm a Jay-Z.
yeah.
Nah, he was already big before. That would just be illogical of him.
But he got ultra big after him.
Maybe. I don't think he would ever say like straight up, I made Jay-Z.
And then Drake, he would like 100% say like, 100% he would say we would have no Drake.
Yeah.
if it wasn't for me.
He definitely have said that multiple times.
So
what?
he's evil.
No.
He has some evil to him.
Ignorance. I
Which
plead
is-
ignorance.
You plead ignorance for someone else?
Yes.
Nice. I like that.
I think just like in his point of view, he sees Big Sean as like this friend this whole time. And then this one change of character of like telling him to vote some certain way or stop running. That's when he's like, you betrayed me in like a real way. And from our perspective, it's like, look, you were running for president. It's kind of crazy on its own.
Yeah.
But in his perspective, it's like, this was he wanted this. It's like if someone told you like, you'll never be this. And it's like that huge betrayal.
But it's not that though.
To him, it is.
To him, but he never said those words. He just like, I vote for.
But he never said like, I made you, you belong to me.
Right. But that's not what Big Sean's mad about. He's just mad that he said that what he said.
That he made the mistake of signing him.
Yeah. Like, when I die on my grave, I want it to say, I'm here because I signed Big Sean.
That's just funny, man.
It is
It's like
funny.
a joke.
I think if you look at Kanye, he's Donald Trump and a comedian.
Yeah.
And that's not the best combination because it can lead to bad things. And he's also smart,
Yeah.
you know? Oh, boy. Good old Kanye. At least he gives us something to talk about.
He's a genius.
Sorry, I just got a weird text. Our section, let's talk about this. Let's go to a section called What's on the Tele? Do you think we should watch something actively? Because like we're at a spot now where there's new things coming out, but we don't watch anything really, right?
Like weekly?
Yeah.
You can. I'm not doing anything I don't want to do.
Is there any? Because I heard there's like this show called Station 11, I think it's called. HBO show, post-apocalyptic, supposed to be really good, getting good reviews. I'm saying, what's the next thing after Succession? I have a big hole in my heart now.
Season 4 of Succession.
We have to wait.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm like,
Are you still on the Mad Men tip?
no, I stopped at like season 5 or something.
Jeez, again? Like you went all the way to 5 already?
Yeah.
Jesus.
But it's like background. It's not like I'm.
Taking notes.
Yeah.
Didn't
Maybe
notice that
sometimes
before.
I'm like,
Didn't
wow,
notice.
that was something, but I'm not 100%. Because at this point, I'm like, I already know everything that's going on. It's just like me seeing like, oh,
Enter side character 65
pretty
from
much.
Left Door.
But I don't know. I'm not like pushing myself to like, oh, I got to do this. Just like if I see something like, you know what, I'm in the mood for this now.
Yeah.
But like the only pushing I do is to push myself to watch something good if I have like the free time.
Yeah.
Like right now I'm watching Seinfeld. It's good.
Have you watched
Curb?
Yeah.
A couple episodes.
Okay.
It was a little too cringy. It's good, but like the humor is like awkward.
Yeah. Seinfeld.
It's good. It's good.
You realize what you're dealing with,
I
right?
was wrong my whole life. It's because I put it in the same group as Friends, and Friends I think is probably the dumb one.
Yeah.
But Seinfeld's like it's like an actual good show. Like it didn't really age besides like clothing and telephones and computers.
Yeah.
But like the problems are like just human problems that would be timeless.
It's real life.
Yeah.
Yeah. With a lot of comedy.
Yeah. But it's good. I was surprised.
Who's your favorite character?
Kramer. Come on.
The guy, the most, you know what he's done, right?
Oh, he's like racist.
Yeah.
He made a mistake.
We all do, right?
Yeah.
We all say the N-word in front of people
Yeah.
that are black. I never done that actually. Yeah. Ivan, it's time for Really Be Bussin'. Your boy Roddy Ricch came out.
I listened. Unimpressed.
I have 3 takeaways. It's extremely sad the lack of depth he has.
People, they're just like, they're either hit makers or nothing. Like,
Yeah.
just, there's nothing anymore. Anyway.
There is. Just not there.
But why not? Like, why can't we have good mainstream music anymore?
Because no one wants to be...
Kanye?
Everyone wants to be niche. They want to be Earl Sweatshirt.
Okay.
Or they want to be Gunna.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's no Kendrick. There's no Drake. There really is no, like, next up, I think.
No.
Like, there's a massive hole there, I think. And
That's
it's
what I
filled
think.
by, like, a bunch of, like, regular guys.
That's why I think rap's dying. I think it's like, this is it. There's whatever is next. Like, we can't even see it.
I think Bad Bunny is, like, bigger. Like, Bad Bunny is the next Drake.
Yeah. But I still need to. He still has like that mediocrity to him.
No, he doesn't.
Hold on.
Oh.
Where it's like, they're good, but it's not like there 100%. Like they're good music, but he doesn't have like that.
Ultra hit?
Just like
God's Plan?
like the album.
I would argue that he does. Like, he has, like, messages. He's, like, the only reggaeton artist that has a message.
He's the best, but I want better.
Okay. I could take that. I think it's also a reflection of, like, the time of... He's a very... What is it? Is it a millennial or a Zoomer?
Probably Zoom.
He's very Zoomer-esque.
Probably both.
Because he releases at a clip like the internet.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And for how fast he makes his music, it's it's excellent quality for how fast he releases it. You know,
Yeah.
like it reflects that.
Mm-hmm.
He's the best. He's the most prolific.
Fast music maker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's actually good.
Yeah.
We're like,
Gunna.
who wouldn't be like, not Gunna, but we keep poor Gunna. He's like gonna kill himself after this, or kill us after this. More likely.
Someone who makes albums quick. Gucci Mane.
Yeah, but more a newer one, like Trippie Redd. Like Trippie Redd would be
The Baby.
and the Baby. Yeah, they make it quick, but it's not, the quality isn't there.
Right.
Bad Bunny's better,
Yeah.
and I think that's your sort of example of hip hop's dying, because like the best artist in hip hop or in culture is actually Bad Bunny.
Mm-hmm. But even he's not what I want. What I think we need to.
Right. I think
Like I'm.
he
looking at-
has the right messages though. He's like, I'm actually sad today, guys. You know, and I'm worth $100 billion.
Yeah.
He has a sense of humor.
Yes. He's still new, so it's like he could still get there.
Like his next album might be like introspective. It might actually not have a beat that sounds dum da dum da dum.
Yeah.
So
But no Kendrick,
no,
no Drake, no Kanye, no peak Drake. I mean,
no.
that's what I want.
Yeah. Yeah, there probably will be one more big artist in 5 years, but I don't see who the hell it's gonna be.
Don Tolliver.
He's going up. So yeah, Roddy Ricch, poor guy. We forgot him in this train of thought, but it's forgettable, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Lack of depth. I had hopes for him because his last album wasn't good, but he has like that sing-song flow and differentness to him that makes me intrigued. I'm like, if he took 2 years to make this album, I'm expecting something good.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically because you have this unique ability of making hits, you know?
You listen to the Jamie Foxx feature on that?
Oh my
I hated it.
So stupid.
It's like, ooh, cool, Jamie Foxx. Outro talking about an old Kanye song.
Yeah.
It's like, come on.
And even the first song, Live Fast,
Yes.
like sampling Rick Ross and Kanye.
Yes.
It's like, and my favorite song was the Ty Dolla $ign song, the one right after the Jamie Foxx one, or whatever.
Mhm. Yeah.
Because it's like it actually sounds different.
It's so weird to like think like he has nothing. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
he's working his hardest, but he has a limit.
And I understand him though, because like I've had that kind of struggle with like what am I really?
But I don't think he even knows he's struggling. Like we can
I
see
don't know.
like
I know what you mean, but I don't know if he is or not.
I mean he just released an album. Like if I would think he's at his peak right now. He's like, I finally finished this piece of art I made, and then we're like, that was pretty bad.
I do think
It's so messed up.
look. I do think he knows that he doesn't know who he is because he made this a concept album. I think
Mhm.
he tried to, at least, by like referencing Nipsey Hussle, saying like calling this live life fast, and then in the intro he's like, I realized I've lived life fast. Now I would like to live life slow. He's like, this is what I've realized. And the album has like 2 mentions of that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this isn't a concept album, dude. Like, this is either you or your team realizing at the last minute, hey, this album has no cohesiveness to it. Let's make up something what it's about. And let's put that as the intro and maybe in the middle and the very end.
I think it's more like I'll use To Pimp a Butterfly as like the most perfectly cohesive
Yes.
album ever. Like he listens to that and says like, look, I gotta put a string that ties them all together.
You're offending him right now. Keep going.
And then he's like, okay, I'll put something at the intro, put something in the middle, something in the end. There's that string. But he doesn't think about like the string has to be like
Throughout
here's
each.
the music and then the string. But for Kendrick's like the music and the string are one.
Yeah.
He has to learn how to do that if he wants to do like that concept album.
I think what he should shoot for is at least like the Travis Scott string, which is like the same sort of tone throughout, you know, and the same kind of like sound and effects, you know, like that's where Scott is good because like yeah, his songs are all about the superficial stuff, but cohesively the sound sounds all the same.
Yeah.
Drake too, you know, sound wise it kind of sounds all the same.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was my second thing that I noticed, which is there's supposed to be a theme to this album, but there isn't any. You know?
Yeah.
Just like, come on, dude. And it made me feel bad for him. Like I do think he realizes that he just makes hit songs and he only cares about a couple things, but he doesn't really care about it. The third thing that I realized, this album actually sounds really good. Like the quality.
Yeah.
To me, that tells me that he has a lot of money to make an album.
Yeah.
He just doesn't have
The talent.
any vision at all.
Yeah.
And like when you listen to the beats, they all sound like something someone just made up on the whim, you know? Like, put this guitar, like you've mentioned this before. Put a guitar right there, make a couple beats, give me that 808.
Make sure it's knocking.
And it does. It knocks. But it's knocking on the wrong door, you know what I mean? Whoa. That's it.
Rap is dead. That should be. Blow that up.
Okay, I will. Damn it, I was gonna say something. The one song that I will take away with, or two songs, is the Ty Dolla Sign song and the Little Baby song. Did you hear the like Miami one, like where it has like a jazz in the beginning?
I don't remember.
Let me play it right now. Anything you've been listening to?
I think I'm retiring from music. I don't get anything from any music anymore. I don't think I'm not really that much of a.
You're not being receptive to it, right?
I'm not much of an audio person.
What do you get your joy out of these days?
Hard drugs.
Hard drugs and women.
I think
the three P's. Remember? Succession.
Oh yeah. Just like movies, TV, and then books. Like all those are like I've enjoyed that. I've got more from that than pretty much any piece of music besides like a good Kanye album. But even that, like
6 months ago.
There's nothing really.
Yeah, I'm trying to be more into it. I like the new FKA Twigs Weekend song.
Even that, I don't know.
You're dead.
But just for music.
Yeah.
Like everything else, I'm like.
Yeah.
And Aunt May died.
Really? That really got you?
No, but I was like, wow, they actually killed her.
Oh yeah.
I didn't think they'd do it.
Next time we're on Peliculas with the Bros, we'll be doing our best of list, and we'll also be doing either Licorice Pizza or The Matrix, but we'll do a movie. Thank you for everyone who's been listening to us for this long, 2 hours in, and we're still at it. Peliculas with the Bros, again, we're on Spotify, SoundCloud, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, wherever you get your podcast. We're also on YouTube, Peliculas with the Bros. Look us up there. Subscribe, like. Ivan, any parting words for the beautiful people?
Oh.
All right, web slingers. See you next time.